I had to address this issue sooner or later, man. I don't like the fact that I have to make this video, but someone has to say it. Usopp is a liability, okay? He is no longer useless to the crew. He is actively being a liability. I'll have a couple notes here to get through, so just bear with me here, okay? And if I sound a little bit weird, I just got my braces done and my tongue is all cut up. I can't even eat, really. I'm in pain, bro. Okay, I will start this off by saying I was the biggest Usopp defender. Now, I know that's what all haters say before they begin hating, but people who said Usopp was useless prior to Wano, they're idiots. They don't know what they're talking about. The whole crew would have died back in Dressrosa if it wasn't for him. Luffy would have turned into a toy. They wouldn't have been able to get past Perona. Was that her name? Perona in Thriller Bark. And generally speaking, even in arcs where he's not critical to the success of the Straw Hats, he still has his moments. He overcomes personal internal battles, like, you know, back in Water 7 when he felt useless and replaceable. Same way, you know, they were going to replace the Mary when he couldn't protect the money. What's stopping the Straw Hats from finding someone stronger who could protect their money? All of that. I never wanted Usopp to be strong. That is not the point of his character. And yeah, like, let's just leave it at that. Oh, and how could I forget about Alabasta? When he was getting brutally mauled by a mole, that mole man and that fat lady, and he stood up and he said, I can let you disrespect me, but disrespecting my best friend's dream, he's not gonna let that slide. So Usopp has his moments, okay? Overall, he is a very strong character. And I understand that we're reaching the finale of One Piece, the final saga, so most of the Straw Hats are gonna get sidetracked, but not the way Usopp has. So let me begin. So for starters, he was useful in Dressrosa. He wasn't there for Whole Cake Island, and then we reach Wano. Oh my god, that was horrible. He didn't have his own fight. Fine, okay, they were fighting a Yonko crew. There were a bunch of ancient dinosaurs running around with hockey. What is Usopp supposed to do? Okay, I don't believe. He's getting chased by Big Mom, I'm pretty sure. Was that just Nami? I don't know if he was with Nami when they were getting chased by Big Mom, but whatever, bro. Like, he was having a bad time in Wano. But one thing that particularly left a bad taste in my mouth was when Ulti, that was her name, right, was about to kill Nami, and Usopp sat there saying Nami just lied to her. I don't know why I said it like that. Where Usopp was like, Nami just lied to her, just say whatever you need to say to get out of this situation, we need to survive, whatever. That just goes against everything Usopp stood for back in Alabasta and the reason I began to really respect him. Okay, now you could argue that he was just saying that for Nami's sake, that if he was in the position of Nami, he would have also not been able to lie, and that he was just telling Nami to lie because he wants her to live. But I still don't like the fact. Okay, I don't think this is what I'm thinking. I don't think Oda should have made him tell Nami, no, you have to say that Luffy's gonna be king of the pirates. We have to stand on business, because that's not what Usopp will do, and it'd be pretty stupid. But him adding in the part where he encourages Nami to lie, I don't know, bro. Like, that whole thing just didn't need to happen. It just didn't need to happen. You know what I'm saying? That whole thing just did not have to exist. But again, you could argue that if Usopp was in Nami's place, he would have done the exact same thing as Nami. He was just telling Nami to lie because he wanted her to survive or whatnot. But I don't know. I just didn't like that. I did not appreciate that a single bit. And yeah, he pretty much did nothing in Wano. The highlight of what he did in Wano was what? Just like that one attack where he shot beans at the ground and they were laughing at him, like, and then they ran over the beans and then they turned into beanstalks and it impaled them. I don't know, like, that was pretty cool, but those were all fodder. Like, Chopper fought Queen, okay? Nami, what did Nami do? Oh, she faced Ulti. Okay, yeah, she faced Ulti, okay? And obviously she never ended up beating her, but she damaged her like hell using Zeus. And at the end of the day, Nami is the navigator of the crew. So if she can't fight, that's not her purpose, okay? Usopp is the sniper of the group, you know? He's supposed to actually have some sort of fight. But anyways, we jump to Egghead Island. Honest to God, I don't know what Usopp did. Like, I don't even remember him being scared. I don't remember him. I can't even remember like 2 lines of dialogue from Usopp and in Egghead. Like, give me a second, let me brainstorm, because I don't want people in the comment going, well, actually, Let me think, okay? Yeah, he had nothing of substance. I just remember, for whatever reason, he held his head and then he threw himself back and hit his head on the ground. Was it when he found out that Kizaru was there? Or was that when he found out, no, maybe Lucci or... I don't know why he did that, but this guy, the highlight of him in Elbaf is him screaming, "Run!" when that mechanical shark tried to eat them at the beginning. Okay, it is so difficult for me to speak. I keep like, my tongue is so caught up. Anyways, jumping to Elbaf. See, I could just say Wano was not Usopp's arc. You know, I can say Elbaf was not Usopp's arc. I mean, Egghead. But Elbaf, the whole point of Elbaf, since the dawn of time, was that it was either gonna be the arc where Usopp becomes the brave warrior of the sea, or where he gets an insane buff or something, bro. They spawn in and Usopp nearly dies to an oversized cat. His entire time skip arc was him fighting a bunch of Gigantamasaurus bugs. Okay, this guy should not be struggling against a cat. And then even Luffy he said, "Usopp, bro, lock in that you just nearly died to a cat." And Usopp was like, "Oh, it just caught me off guard." Are we for real? You are a Yonko Cruz sniper. Okay, you should not be. Oh man, it upsets me, bro. It hurts me. It really does hurt me. Furthermore, he has had no other fight in Elbaf. I mean, at least in Wano, he was shooting fodder. To be fair, there's no fodder in Elbaf. It's just all Holy Knights. So, you know, I can excuse him there. I don't expect him to do anything against the Holy Knights. But it's just difficult for me to watch him go through this. It's either Oda has something in store for us that's gonna make this video age like milk, and I'm gonna have to make an apology video publicly apologizing to Usopp, or Oda realized that we're reaching the end of the story. We can't give Usopp anything of real substance unless we want him to die. You know, him becoming a brave warrior of the seas, him dying or whatever, okay? It's one or the other. It's either as soon as we're done with this Zebek flashback, Usopp's gonna do some crazy stuff. I did see this one theory where, you know, the... Damn, I forgot the name. The Domi Reversal or the Domi Reversi. Okay, I think that's what it's called. Where obviously Broggy and Dory got possessed by Emu and turned into demons. I saw this one theory where Luffy will get Domi Reversied, so will maybe Sanji and Zoro. And then nobody's gonna be able to break through it. And then Loki and Usopp will somehow do something together because Usopp's a sniper, and it's gonna be a similar situation to Annie's lobby, where Usopp was just sniping people from so far away. And so Usopp's gonna somehow, you know, Loki's gonna be in the battlefield holding them down or whatever, and then Usopp's gonna snipe whatever is causing the Domi Reversi. When I read the theory, it sounded pretty nice. It sounded nice. I was like, yeah, I see a world where this could happen. However, now that we found out the way to counter Holy Knights is Conqueror's Haki, chances are the way to defeat or reverse the Reversi Domi, the Domi Reversi, is probably also Conqueror's Haki. So chances are Luffy's gonna swing back up. Him and Zoro, and potentially Sanji soon when he unlocks his conquerors there. But it's likely gonna be Luffy. When he sees Dory and Broggy, he's gonna let out some conquerors and, you know, snap them back, bring them back to reality. Well, whatever, you get what I'm saying, right? So I don't know. I can't possibly see what Oda has in store for Usopp, but I don't expect Usopp to become OP. I don't expect him to be one of the monster trio. I don't even expect him to be as strong as Chopper. Okay, Chopper's a devil fruit user and he's a mink. Oh no, he's not a mink. I severely take that back. He's a deer that ate the human fruit, but he has different transformations. That's what I meant, you know. He has monster point. You know, I just expect him to do something. Like maybe the way Sanji was pre-time skip, you know, like Mr. Prince, he would do all this stuff behind the scenes. Again, that's not Usopp, that wouldn't make sense. But having Usopp there, he's not even a gag character anymore. We don't even see him yelling. We just don't see him. We don't see him. We don't even see him crying for help anymore. He's just... This guy has been subdued. This guy has given up. This guy has given up all hope. He's just along for the ride. Like, all I'm saying is, you know, since the beginning of the series, Usopp's observation haki has been glazed like crazy. That he can snipe an ant between its two antennas from 1,000 miles away and all of that stuff. His observation haki must have been so strong. He looked at his son when he was born and seen a future not worth being there for, okay? He saw a son so trash, he left before he could ever witness just how useless his son truly is. when they were back in Wano, when he was saying, oh, I don't think I can face Usopp yet. What he's really saying is, Usopp does not deserve to be in my presence. Do you understand? I'll go Straw Hat by Straw Hat. Obviously, Luffy's the captain. Zoro's the right-hand man. Sanji is strong as hell and he's the cook. Okay. Jinbei is strong as hell and he's the helmsman. Frankie is the shipwright and he can hold his own. Brook is the musician and he can hold his own. Robin is the archaeologist and she can hold her own. She can fight. Okay, as long as, you know, Frankie, Brook and Robin don't end up facing a Logia user, they can hold their own. Logia user or a Holy Knight, of course, because they don't have Conquerors. What else? What else do we have here? Nami is the navigator. She doesn't need to be strong. But even then, she has Zeus. Okay? Why didn't we... I mean, I understand why we didn't give Zeus to Usopp. Because obviously, Nami's the weather girl and all of that. So it makes sense that she has that type of ability. But what I'm saying is, why didn't Oda give a super strong companion to Usopp the way Nami got her super strong companion? Because, anyways, let me go on. Chopper's the doctor and he can hold his own. He suplexed, duplexed, replexed Queen onto the ground. So everybody can hold his own, and if they meet an opponent that's too strong, you can excuse them because they have other roles. They're not on the crew to fight. They're on the crew to serve a purpose, to read poneglyphs, to make food, to, you know, ensure they don't starve. That's the same thing. To ensure they stay healthy, to ensure they don't get lost, to ensure that any battle that's too much for the captain, you know, he can cover the other half of the fight. Whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying? Usopp has no role. He used to be the shipwright. That's no longer his role. Maybe you can say at some point he could have been the helmsman, which could not be true because it was actually Frankie. Frankie was a helmsman and the shipwright. Usopp is no longer just useless, he is a liability. When an oversized cat, which by the way, Luffy as a kid, as a 6-year-old, was beating up not just a normal gorilla, an oversized tiger. Fine, Usopp's not built like Luffy. What about in time skip? Usopp spent the entirety of the time skip fighting giant creatures. What happened? What the hell happened? You unlocked observation. You've supposedly gotten stronger since time skip. What is your purpose on this crew, bro? Like, what are you doing here? So yeah, all I ask of Oda is not to give him a buff. Fine, give him a stronger weapon. He deserves that. This guy is running a slingshot against holy knights. This guy is using a slingshot against immortal beings. What is going on, bro? And again, he has no other role. His role now is sniper. What is he sniping? He's not sniping anything. He's useless! Oda, give him a better weapon. Give him some sort of character development because he hasn't had that in a very long time. Okay? Make him confront his fears for a final time. Give him a reason to be called the bravest warrior or a brave warrior of the sea. Give him something, please. I am getting sick watching him doing nothing. Okay, before I used to complain about him being a coward, and I'm like, Oda, if he's gonna be so useless, just sidetrack him. Don't even give him dialogue. But now he's getting dialogue, or he's not getting dialogue, and I feel guilty. I want it back. Let me just see him cower in fear. I just want to see him. This guy is as much of a straw hat as Vivi is at this point. And I know everybody in the comments, because nobody watches my videos, they just watch the first 30 seconds and they go, okay, because that's what happens every time. I mean, we're like 16 minutes in, so, you know, it's kind of a bad time to bring this up now. I'm not saying Usopp was always useless. I am saying Usopp post Dressrosa is nothing. He is less than nothing. He is making the crew looks worse with him on it. Anyways, bro, I'm done. That's all I wanted to talk about. I don't inherently hate Usopp now. I still think he's gonna have his time to shine. I just think if Oda doesn't want him to be a fighter, give him some other purpose. Because currently in the crew, he sits there and talks a big game about how strong he is, which he's always done that. But now you're facing enemies that you can't BS your way out of, the way he did with like the fishmen back in Arlong Park, where he just kept running and running and running, and then he, you know, outsmarted him. Or it's Perona, where he can just say, yeah, I'm so negative, your negativity won't even affect me. We're facing real opponents now. So Usopp, in turn, needs a new role if he's no longer gonna have these funny fights. Give him something, please. Okay, this is why I need to start scripting my videos again, because I start going off on crazy tangents and repeating myself. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, remember to leave a like and subscribe, and I'll see y'all later. Bye bye.